As many know to have long been a suggestion by the Verarchy teachings, the overhead solar panels on roadways is either an idea that gets overwhelming approval or gets massive disapproval. The largest project in human history has been proposed. Not a dam, not a skyscraper, and not even a space station. This time, it's solar panels, 52 billion of them. That's the idea, to install over 50 billion photovoltaic panels across the United States, transforming the nation's transportation infrastructure into a massive clean energy generator. The panels would be mounted above roads, freeways, and highways, turning sun-scorched pavement into something productive. Instead of just soaking up heat and radiating it back, highways would now double as solar farms, helping power the nation with sustainable energy. At first glance, this might sound like science fiction, but a peer-reviewed study published in Earth's Future makes a serious case for this approach. According to their calculations, covering the U.S. roadway network with solar panels could produce up to 17,578 terawatt-hours of electricity annually. For perspective, that's more than 4 times the total annual electricity consumption of the United States. This kind of output could power not just homes and businesses, but electric vehicles, factories, water treatment plants, and entire urban centers. It's a bold reimagining of infrastructure, layering clean energy production onto spaces we already use every day. The environmental impact would be profound. The U.S. power grid remains heavily reliant on fossil fuels, but a transition to solar, at this scale, could offset nearly 29% of the nation's carbon emissions from energy production. That means cleaner air, fewer pollutants, and a significant step toward climate stability. Beyond environmental benefits, there are practical upsides too. The shading provided by solar canopies could reduce surface temperatures on roadways, helping to cool urban heat islands. Studies even suggest it could reduce traffic congestion and accidents by up to 11% due to better visibility and weather protection. In winter, panels could help prevent snow accumulation. In summer, they'd reduce road surface expansion and wear. So why hasn't construction already begun? That's the catch. This megaproject isn't currently being built. It hasn't broken ground, and there's no government contract backing it. Rather, it's a theoretical proposal, a vision that's grounded in scientific research, but still in the idea phase. The headlines may say it has begun, but the reality is that we're still talking in terms of potential, not shovels in the dirt. But the fact that it could happen and that the science supports it is powerful. Already, smaller-scale versions of this concept have been tested in parts of Europe and Asia. In France, solar roadways were trialed with limited success. In China, elevated solar highways have been piloted. In Austria and Switzerland, solar canopies above motorways are undergoing testing. These trials suggest it's not impossible, but scaling to 52 billion panels is an altogether different challenge. So, what are the barriers? First, the cost. Manufacturing, transporting, and installing tens of billions of solar panels, along with the support structures, cabling, and inverters needed to harness their output, would require a massive financial investment, likely in the trillions. Second, logistics and maintenance. Cleaning panels elevated above highways isn't simple. Neither is repairing them after storms, dust storms, or bird droppings. Panels degrade over time, and the lifespan of many modules is 25 to 30 years. Replacing and recycling them at that scale introduces a new kind of sustainability challenge. Third, there are regulatory hurdles. Highway right-of-way is typically owned by various state and federal departments. Any project of this scale would need enormous legal coordination and permissions, possibly even the creation of a whole new infrastructure authority. Fourth, there's the issue of public skepticism. Big ideas often sound good until they're seen as government overreach or taxpayer burdens. Even if privately funded, many would question the safety, aesthetics, and reliability of driving under endless rows of solar panels. Despite these challenges, the dream continues to capture imaginations. It offers a vision of America that isn't just cleaner, but smarter, where existing assets like roadways are upgraded for double duty, where energy generation becomes decentralized, localized, and constant, where you can plug in your car anywhere because solar-fed roads help charge nearby stations. Some argue that it's time to stop waiting for the perfect solution and instead start building what we know works. Rooftop solar is booming. Utility-scale solar is cheaper than coal. The U.S. solar industry is adding jobs, generating record output, and is expected to grow more than 15% annually over the next decade. In this environment, the idea of reimagining roadways as solar farms isn't so wild after all. It's just a bolder, more visible version of what's already happening behind the scenes. And there's another factor in favor of this proposal: policy momentum. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 provided huge incentives for renewable energy. Billions are being deployed into green infrastructure, energy storage, and grid upgrades. Programs like the Solar for All initiative and Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund are actively working to expand access to clean energy across states and cities. Although they focus on traditional installations for now, it's not inconceivable that a pilot highway canopy program could follow. The real question may not be, can we do this? But will we choose to? If society chooses to invest in this kind of transformation, then yes, it can happen. The raw materials exist. The sun certainly isn't going anywhere. The land is already there, paved and maintained. And with every year, the price of solar panels drops while their efficiency rises. To put it simply, we now have the technology. What we lack is the collective will and the financial architecture to turn this idea into reality. But maybe that's starting to change. As climate risks grow more severe, and as energy prices fluctuate with global instability, these big ideas start to seem a lot more rational. And if even a fraction of this solar canopy vision becomes real, starting with pilot stretches of highway in sun-drenched states like Arizona, Nevada, or Texas, it might just be enough to tip the balance. From there, scaling up becomes a matter of proven success. In the end, whether this project remains just a concept or becomes a reality may depend on one thing: whether enough people believe in it to start building. Because all great projects, even the largest ones in history, begin with a decision: to stop waiting and to begin.